Hello, darlings. It's day 8 of Vlogstice. My name's Cara, and it's hard to say my name in that accent. My name's Cara. It's Vlogstice day 8. Let's jump right into the candles. We are looking at 16, boom, and 17. 16, red jar. Smells nice. I'm not sure what it is. Smells like berries. Every time I think it's berries, it's not. Smells like berries. Smells like fruit. Also, I realize I did forget to read out the, scent notes of the last ones, but I think maybe we'll just skip those. They're almost never what it says it's gonna smell like, and I think I'm just learning that that's how fragrance science works. Like, they mix a bunch of different things together, and then it becomes whatever they say it's supposed to be. Which in this case, I don't know what else it could be. Oh, it's sparkling gumdrop. Okay, so just a little bit like a sugary fruit-flavored candy. Yeah, that makes sense. This smells nice. I like this. And then 17, we have green in a green jar, green box again. This is another, okay, so it kind of seems like the green ones are the tree smelling ones. This is like a pine scent again. But some of the time I thought that it hasn't been. But yeah, this smells like evergreen trees. This smells like a winter forest. What do they say it is? Ambered pine. So there we go. One of them was fir, one of them's pine. Beautiful. Love it. All right. So those are the two for today. Let me get this out of the way. So I am tired. I am exhausted. This is going to be a short video again. I'm so glad that you all are enjoying Vlogstice. Some of you have said so in the comments. And I've got to say, it's really taken a lot out of me, especially this year. I don't know. I mean, insomnia is always an issue for me at this time of year, and the emotional drain is always a thing this time of year. But I think in particular this year, because I have these other projects going on that I'm also doing a lot of work for, I'm just constantly doing videos right now, and I'm not used to this level of constant editing. And right now, I haven't been able to upload a video on my second channel playing games in months, and I really want to do some of that in the rest of this month. There's one game that I at least want to play the demo of, if not more of it, that is very festive, very holiday themed, so I'd like to do that soon, maybe for the solstice. And there's another game, well, there are multiple other games that I really want to start playing and putting videos up of. I have one game that I need to finish playing and putting the rest of the videos up that I think it's 5 episodes are already posted, and I have episode 6 recorded, but I haven't had time to edit it, and then I have to record more of it and finish up the game. But then I have some other games that I've been wanting to start for a couple of years now, and I keep saying, oh, I want to start that one, and I haven't had time because I'm doing all of these other things. So I'm trying to make plans for things in the next couple of weeks after Vlogstice is done. I know that I will be a little less constantly editing at that point, so I'm trying to not add anything else in this last week because I know that I don't have time, so I'm trying to push things to then. But of course, then the more things I push to then, I'm just going to be busy then too, so I don't really know what it's going to look like, but I want to do at least that very festive game at the end of December, so even though Vlogstice will be done, hopefully I will have at least that one thing happening over there, if not a couple of things, depending on how the rest of the month goes. And I'm already thinking about, if I do this again next year, obviously I might be in a different spot with other editing projects. Who knows where I'm going to be in a year. But if I do this next year, I might change up the routine again. I'm very glad that I gave myself weekends off of uploading this year, and I didn't just do every other day, and we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I might even cut it down next year to just 2 videos a week. I'm just trying to figure out what the capacity is, because I would like to be able to sustainably do something and not feel incredibly exhausted all the time. So, but in keeping with that sort of theme, the other thing that I had written down on my list of things that I've been meaning to talk about for a while that I could put into Vlogstice is tech accommodations and some other similar things. So a year or 2 ago now, I got this little teeny tiny mini controller. And this is something that one of my Patreon supporters let me know about when I started talking about the difficulty that I have physically editing videos for so many hours. I have some shoulder pain that is exacerbated by editing because my editing program, the keybinds are such that there's a couple things I could change that I have changed to make it a little bit easier, but it used to be where I would have to reach across to the right side of my keyboard to use some of the keys that I needed. And I'm right-handed, so I use the mouse with my right hand and I'm using the keys with my left hand, and it was just a lot. So I was informed that you can get a controller, and there are programs that you can use to create keybinds to a controller, not just for playing games, but for any program, anything that you do on a keyboard. This is not something that ever would have occurred to me before. This might be very obvious and clear information for a lot of people, but I did not know this. So I got this itty bitty baby controller when it was on sale a couple of years ago. It didn't come in purple, otherwise I would have gotten purple. It does come in pink, but actually this sort of teal bluish green color is one of my favorite colors as well. It's like all shades of purple, blue, green, teal area, and then this sort of cool mint color that some of my other things are, like this lap desk table thing that's back here. The cats like to sit under that. It's like a little cave. It's sitting on a chair. So that's what that is. I know it's a lot brighter than a lot of things, so it kind of stands out. But that color is like my third favorite color. So this is what we went with. My mom got me this mouse, and I've set this up so that when I edit... Okay, and I've set this up so that when I edit, I'm actually holding it in my hand this way. And I have very small hands, so this is a good little size for me. But I actually hold it in my hand this way, and I've set the buttons here to be the main buttons that I need. And then these buttons are buttons that I need slightly less frequently, so I could do cut, paste, undo, and redo down here. And then this is my play and pause button, cut button, delete, and control, which I need to do a couple of different things. So I still need to type using the keyboard when I'm typing words in my edits. But now I just need the mouse and this, and so I can have my left hand resting in my lap and not be messing with my shoulder too much. So I still do also try to take breaks after a certain amount of editing, so I try to not edit for more than 2 hours straight at a time. But sometimes I just know that like, oh, but I could finish it in 3 hours, so sometimes I'll push it to 3 hours. Even if I'm using this, which I'm not always because eventually the battery will die and I have to recharge it. And if I want to keep editing, then I'll go back to the keyboard version. But even if I am using this, I still start to get a little bit of pain after 2 to 3 hours of sitting here editing. So I try to break it up for myself. So I've got this, which helps a lot physically. This chair is a lot better as well. The podcast actually enabled me to get this chair. The podcast bought this chair for me. You can't even see the chair because I have stuff over it, but it's a nice spinny chair that actually spins, unlike the one at my mom's, which was broken. And this, I can adjust this height-wise. And the other big thing that I got in the last few years is these glasses are obviously my prescription glasses, but they also have a built-in blue light filter. I paid a little extra for that at the time, but it's worth it to me because I do so much work staring at screens at all hours of the day. So this is my other main tech accommodation, is that these glasses have a blue light reduction lens, which is also why sometimes you'll notice, I mean, these lights are colorful behind me, but the lights in front of me are white, but you can see the reflection in my glasses looks kind of blue. And that's usually how you can tell if the reflection in somebody's glasses is kind of bluey purple. It might be because they have that blue light reduction filter. And I use one on my phone too. I use one of those apps that adds a red filter to reduce the amount of blue light. And there's a little bit of that available on my screens and monitors that I use. I do also have a large second monitor now that one of my other podcast team members had a friend who had this extra monitor that they weren't using, and they sent it to me. And now it's like, I don't know how I ever did anything with just a laptop. So it's incredibly helpful that I can have the stuff that I'm editing and other things that I need to be referencing, and it's all visible on the screens at the same time instead of having to like flip through different pages. Incredible. But when it comes to editing, I would say this little guy has been a game changer, but I don't use it all the time, depending on whether it's charged. And also if I feel like it's going to be a quick edit, sometimes I'll just do it with the keyboard anyway, because I'm like, why would I get it out of the pouch where it is, even though it's right there? I don't know. But similarly to this, I kind of just wanted to talk very quickly about fidgets or stim toys. I do have a couple that I like, and really more than anything, I know I've already mentioned previously that I crochet. So sometimes when I'm in a meeting, I will just get out a crochet project and I'll crochet while I'm listening. I am also somebody who takes a lot of notes, however, So if I'm in a meeting where I'm scribing, I'm taking notes, then I'm not doing any other fidget things because I am very active in what's going on. I'm focused, I'm taking notes. That is the thing that I am doing. If there are things where I am just listening and I'm not actively doing something like taking notes, I might crochet is the main thing that I'm likely to do, especially if I have a project ongoing. But if not, I have a couple of other things that I do like, and for me, they're kind of a meditative thing. It's just nice to be doing something repetitive with my hands. But I also don't always need that. I can meditate, do a trance, whatever, just kind of either sitting still, or I am someone who likes to move. So in that case, that is kind of my fidget, is that I am moving my body. So I like to do walking trances or dance trances. So I am often moving. But if I am seated for whatever reason and I want something to do with my hands that's not crochet, this is one of my favorites that I have. It is both a spinner and a popper because it's got these little guys on every one, but it's also a spinner. I got this years ago. And again, I don't use it all the time, but it's always kind of nearby. And sometimes I'll just play with it. Really, maybe it's just like, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's specific instances, but not really. Sometimes I just feel like it. So I like it. And it's also like, again, my hands are small. It's quite big, but I can let it spin freely. So that's nice. And I like it because it's colorful. Similarly, when I saw this little thing at the dollar store, I was like, it's a rainbow. I must have it. Not just because of that, though, because I did play with it first to make sure that I would like it. And I do. It's just plastic, so it's really easy. I completely washed it off when I first got it, because it came from the dollar store and it wasn't like in plastic. So who knows what kids were playing with this on their way through and shoving it in their mouth and whatever. So they are connected and they all just kind of rotate around. So you can form it into different shapes. It never makes a whole cube though, which is what I thought it would do, but you can make a box with it. And you can make a few different shapes that were like on the tags. It was like showing you what shapes you could make, but that's not what I do with it. I just do this with it. And kind of, you can do it in one hand and just sort of mush it around. And this is sort of like if you were playing with silly putty or something, only it's plastic spheres connected together. But it gives that same sort of like I'm molding something and smushing something, even though it's not. It's not a smushy thing. It's not putty. And I don't like stress balls. It's not that kind of, I don't want to be like squishing something, but it gives a similar feeling that I like. It has a little bit of a noise to it. I'm kind of making it make extra noise so that you can hear it. But it makes a little bit of a sound, but it's not, the sound is not the point of it for me. And it's also not too loud of a sound to be distracting to me, because sometimes things that make too much noise are not what you want. So I like this, and I also, depending on if you can get it all the way open, like I said, I have really tiny hands. So if you open it the widest it can go, it actually will slip over my hand and onto my wrist, and I can wear it. So that's fun about it for me too. I can hold it in my hands and just kind of roll it around a little bit. But yeah, mostly I just play with it like this. And I brought it to camp with me because I thought if I'm teaching or we're in the middle of doing something for class and I want to play with it, or if I want to play with it in ritual, depending on what's going on. And one of my friends saw it and they were like, oh, that's so cool. And I said, okay, I'll bring it to Path in case you want to play with it in Path. And they said, no, don't bring it because it will distract me and I won't be able to focus on anything else. And this is the thing about fidgets, right? For some people, they are a distraction. And this is why they were like banned from so many schools, because so many kids were playing with these things in a manner that was distracting to themselves or other people. And that is beside the point. They are not meant to be a distraction and taking your focus away. They are meant for people who have difficulty focusing unless they have something to do. And so some people might keep a small thing in their pocket. If you are familiar with the concept of like worry stones, these are something that are also sold in a ton of places, and sometimes they're actually made of stone or crystal, or sometimes it's just another little thing that you can have in your pocket and rub. Some people wear fidget rings that spin around so that you can fidget with that on your finger, and it tends to be less, noticeable or bothersome to other people. I don't know if you can hear this. I do like the sound that this makes, but I don't do it for the sound, if that makes sense. But I do like the little whirring sound that it makes, but it's also like not loud enough of a sound if I'm doing it like on my desk. It's not really loud enough to be distracting. The poppers make noise, but it's, yeah, I don't know. The sound is not the point for me. It might be for other people. And of course, the classic one that a lot of people do is, if they're a pen clicker, people will click their pen or tap on the pen, or tapping your leg or shaking your leg. Like, those are all forms of stimulation. Again, I'm sure a lot of you listening to this know this, but there might be some people who watch my videos who don't know a lot about these things. But yeah, there's like levels of this that everybody does. Like, a lot of people might not be interested in spinners or popping toys or other types of things, but they might be somebody who clicks their pen constantly. So I'm not a big utilizer of fidget toys because I'm usually doing something else like crocheting, or I'm actively taking notes, so I don't need them. But when I do, these are the two that I have that are like nearby. They're not even right at my desk, but they're nearby. So if I'm ever in the middle of something, I'm like, I want something to do with my hands, I can stand up and grab them from the bookshelf that's right next to my desk. I used to have this in the background of my videos on the shelf right next to my desk because I also just think it looks nice, so it's aesthetically pleasing to me. But these are the ones that I have. I'm tapping. But these are the ones I have. These are the things that I like to play with when I am using stuff like that. And there might be other kinds that I like, but again, it's like, if the point is that I'm just sitting there playing with something in the moment, I might like a lot of them, but things that I actually like need for different reasons when I'm doing different things, it depends on what I'm doing, but a lot of the time I am doing something with my hands. Big doodler. All throughout school, my notebooks, I have a lot of the notebooks that I had in school. I doodled all over all of my notebooks, constantly drawing and writing little things. So in a way, that's part of it too. A lot of people doodle on their notes in meetings, and that's part of keeping their brain stimulated. So you might not be playing with a spinner, but you might be doing something else. So I do like rainbows. I do like colors. These are the ones that I have. So I just wanted to share that. And now I'm gonna go because I am running a little bit late for a thing that I need to go to. I will see you next time in just a couple of days, and then it'll be just a couple of days again after that until the final video, because the final video is for solstice, which is on Sunday for me. But I'll see you one more time before that. So thank you very much for watching and or listening to this video. I will see you next time, and until then, don't forget to be awesome. Blessed be. Someone's come to say goodbye. Blessed be and goodbye for now. Happy Vlogstice.